Most brands will let losing tests run for 30 days even. But this PDP test that we ran, we only let it run for 7. Now at Shivuk, one of the things that we do is we decide when something needs to get shut down when it comes to A/B testing. So in this test specifically, we were actually testing the mechanism, explanation, clarity on a primary product page template for a brand called Mio Nutrition. You could see on the left-hand side the control, and then on the right-hand side you can see the variant. Okay. The variant itself was really leaning into the science. It explained like the nitrate to nitric oxide mechanism a lot more directly, whereas the control was a bit more focused on like framing the benefits over time. It was a bit more simple and concise. You could see the copies a lot shorter, very, very benefit focused. Now on paper, the mechanism version, the more scientific version, it sounds a lot more intelligent. But intelligence doesn't always convert, apparently. So basically, we ran this test. After 7 days, the conversion rate was down 33.39%. Like, it did that bad. Our p-value hit 0.05, which is statistically significant. It wasn't just noise. It really was very, very negative. It was not a maybe. It was very clearly losing. Now, I want to dive into at least why I think a little bit more about why it actually lost. So the control, this one on the left-hand side, it was very benefit-driven and friction light, really easy to read, short, concise. I think that it pulled the reader in, and so it just naturally was able to convert people more and probably even attract people to read it more. Whereas the variant was increasing cognitive load, massively in comparison to the control. It shifted the reading from being persuasive to rather to be explanatory. On product pages, you're either going to be reinforcing desire or you're making the brain work harder. And usually what happens is that when you make someone work harder and you have to make them think harder, that usually kills momentum, which I believe that's what happened here. Which just shows that ultimately clarity is good, but persuasion is probably something that beats education as well. Next, I want to tell you about why we killed it fast, because like I said, a lot of brands will let this run for over 30 days. Once statistical confidence confirms a negative direction, the test is done. Like we have certain rules which will kill it sooner than statistical confidence, definitely when it's performing by a 33% decrease. It just happened so fast that it was kind of hard to catch it. But definitely when there's statistical confidence, the test is over. And at scale, every single extra week that we would run a test like this, you are just burning revenue. So it's really important that you have kill criteria that should be defined before you launch the test, so that you know at what point of negative performance, we're ready to kill this test, or vice versa, maybe a positive performance as well. I also want to iterate that I want to emphasize, and I don't mind sharing this failure, because negative tests in my eyes aren't actually failures, they're data. But on the other hand, speed of iteration is the edge. So I don't take this as a failure, it's how fast we can use this bad performance and this data in order to iterate. And that's really what helps us be at the edge. So if you're scaling and your test cycles are feeling a bit slow, this is usually where the bottleneck lives.